Someone good here? Yeah. Test 1, 2. Very quiet on here. So I guess it only has to be loud in your end anyway, right? For online. Yeah. Okay, just let me know when. Okay, guys, we're getting started. Okay. All right. Danse na totem mak hugani putis negason mahikan totem. Sim giget sigram hanach kanthgoba wilsas. My name is Shanine Robinson de Jarlis. I'm your MC today. I'm with Indigenous Music. I'm the Indigenous Music Development Coordinator. I'm so honored to be the MC for this special event today that you're watching live from home. Tell you a little bit about it. We want to, of course, honor the territory that we're on, Treaty 1 territory, here at the Winnipeg Art Gallery, the homeland of the Cree, Ojibwe, Ojibwe, Dene, Dakota, Métis Nation, and as well as our good friends of the Inuit Nation who have called Manitoba home for many generations. And I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors who helped out with today. This is a partnership with the Winnipeg Art Gallery, along with Indigenous Music, and of course to AMIC. Thank you so much for helping out as well. We'd also like to thank Factor Canada and the Government of Canada, Canada's radio broadcasters, the Province of Manitoba, and Manitoba Film and Music for helping Indigenous music be a part of today's events. We're really excited. We have a great show to present to all of you folks at home. Please make sure that you share. We have prize giveaways today. We're going to ask that folks join in online. If you're wearing regalia, join in the fun at home as well, and make sure that you follow all the links. We're going to be giving away some cool prizes today. So we're going to get started the way we do with our people, with a grand entry today at our virtual powwow. Nagamuk. Thank you so much to Daryl Buck for that grand entry song, to all of our lovely dancers today. We're going to tell you a little bit about each and every dancer throughout the day and the significance of the grand entry shortly. But first, we want to call upon our elder, Clarence Nepanak, to start our opening prayer.
I'll welcome you all, my relatives, as we are all related. We all have one thing in common, and that's the color of our blood. The outside, it don't matter. But I guess that's too much of a political statement. I'm supposed to say a prayer. I'll say it in Ojibwe, and my name is Seven Eagles, and I belong to the Bear Clan. Andane maganetuk mi gwesti kidumin o mano with mi jangwe chip mi na kamigiziangwe mi gwesti kidumin ke gwaja gip mi na mo yango di shutana abe shanishke o di shu is for send among o di shinigan chip mi yange go chiknamo yanga ningwe chip mi is chigangwe mi da shwe mano ma kamigiziangwe o magab menim yang keni na ingechina and damen we an schnabe yang and the sana kind of shan is chige seeming go wait me go on say ma meaning the magwang chip me yang o ma show the geni na the same o ma give meaning the magwoman o we shwe ma min chim tang to ma mi watch the ni krash ha ga yang o ma mi shwe china and da go magab ma kamegis yang we o an schnabe ke no
Thank you so much, Elder Nepanak, for that prayer. We're going to call upon your beautiful wife now, Elder Barb Nepanak, to tell us a little bit about the meaning behind the grand entry and a little bit about the history of our powwow for our people. Okay, so Mrs. Nepanak is going to share a few words.
Thank you, Shani. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting us to be here today. It is an honor for us to be performing for you in this special day. First and foremost, we're on Treaty 1 land, the land of our ancestors, homeland of the Métis and the Inuit. It's always important to acknowledge that. Today we have the Summer Bear Dance Troupe performing for you, and the grand entry is a time when we come to celebrate together, and this is how we start our celebrations when we have our powwows. That's when the grand procession happens, and this is the start of a festival or a powwow. So that's what normally happens.
Thank you so much. And Barb will be giving teachings throughout the powwow as well for each category and talk a little bit about the history and significance of each of the categories. So we have a really great show lined up for you today, guys, which I'm really excited about. Of course, this is also known as Indigenous New Year's. It's summer solstice, the longest day of the year for our people. So way before we had Indigenous Peoples Day, National Indigenous Peoples Day, Aboriginal Day, it used to be called, our people for thousands of years have celebrated this because this is the beginning of summer. This is when new life begins. This is when all the work and harvesting and all that kind of stuff would happen. So we're celebrating today, Indigenous New Year's in a way, as it were, as well. So I want to thank my friend Julie Lafreniere here. She is the Indigenous Manager of Indigenous Relations at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. And this cool partnership because we wanted to showcase new friendships and a new way of doing business. I think it's really neat that Indigenous women are working in positions like this and we're able to bring events like this to happen for our elders that are at home. And it's been a strange few months with COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's really great that we're able to showcase this for you in a good way to our youth and our elders that are at home. All right. So we have a performance now, a really special performance. This is Daryl Buck is one of our indigenous music artists, and you can come on this way. And Shanley Spence is a young lady. She does so many cool, innovative things. She does like workouts with hoops, and she teaches young women physical activity and exercise and living in a healthy way. So I'm really proud of this young woman as well. And Daryl Buck is a member of Manitoba Music as well as a participant of the Indigenous Music Program, and they're going to do a performance here with the hoops. And then Shanley, I'm not sure if you want to say a few words after about the significance of your dance. You feel free to do that as well. So they're going to perform for you first. Or do you want to talk about it first before you? Yeah, okay. let's use this microphone here, right here. Shanley will tell you a little bit about what you'll be seeing here.
Hello, Tanse Anin Buju. My name is Wapangi Sakawi Pisim Esqueo, which translates to Early Morning Sun Woman in the Nahithao language. My English name is Shanley Spence, and I'll be dancing the traditional hoop dance here, which is a very sacred ceremonial dance rooted in ceremony. And we tell stories with these hoops, so you'll see different formations, different designs. You have to use your imagination and see what you can see through the formations that I create. Maybe you'll see animals or plants or a certain story that is interpreted from your own life experience. And so I dance for each and every one of you back home and those who are here with us live in the room. And it's a healing dance as well. So since time immemorial, this dance has been around, and there used to be medicine people in our community who would create these hoops out of red willow, and they would dance this dance for healing, not only for themselves, but to give to their community and to help heal their friends and their family around them and their communities and their nations as a whole. So I really take that healing teaching to heart and that storytelling teaching to heart when I dance this dance. So I hope that you feel those beautiful energies that are here today while all of us dancers dance for all of you back home. So thank you for watching.
Nagama. check. Hello. All right, good job there, Daryl. Good for Daryl and Shanley. So beautiful there, my girl. You're such a great dancer. I watched this little girl dance since she was, well, she's a woman now, but since she was a little girl, so that's so awesome. All right, we've got a lot of performers still for you guys. I just want to remind you that to tag the WAG, if you want to win some prizes from home, we have some prize giveaways to do. So if you are watching at home, online on Facebook, tag the WAG in your regalia, or if you're dancing along, or if you're just watching from home, go to the Facebook page, the Winnipeg Art Gallery Facebook page, or Instagram, and tag the WAG for your chance to win some prizes today, okay, guys? So you at home, make sure you do that, and we can send you some prizes and figure out how we're going to get those to you as well. And I believe we have some cash prizes, so get on that right now. Tag the WAG on Facebook and Instagram. All right, we're going to pass the microphone over now to Auntie Barb Niepanak here to tell you a little bit about the categories that we'll be seeing performing here as part of the virtual powwow. This is a really neat way of doing things. I know that we've, all of us natives like to have our summer powwows and going to visit and eat and sit around, and so we're doing things a little bit different, but we have survived many things, and we're going to survive this too. So thank you to Barb and Clarence Niepanak for helping us out today and sharing these stories. We have a lot of non-Indigenous folks hopefully watching from home that are going to learn a little bit about what the powwow is. If you've never had the chance to go to a powwow in real life, at least you can watch it at home and learn a little bit, and we want to welcome our non-Indigenous friends and allies to attend these events so that we can start bridging those gaps in our community, start building friendships and learning from one another from all different backgrounds, as Uncle Clarence was saying, and to love one another no matter where we come from and to learn about one another. I think it's very important. So this is a really neat way to do that from the comfort of your own home. So let's pass the microphone over to Barb now. She's going to tell us a little bit about the categories we'll be watching here.
Thank you, Miigwech, for that. I just want to explain a little bit about the Summer Bear Dance Troupe. We have 3 generations of dancers now. We have traveled internationally to many other countries, and we've been very fortunate to have, we use performance dancers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with powwow dancers, but my dancers are performer dancers, and I always value that. And we've gotten along together really well. As long as they listen to me, they know that I'm the boss. So there you go. So I put it out there just so you know. But we all have fun, and that's why we do this. And we learn from one another. The name Summer Bear comes from our last name, our Ojibwe name. Nibinimakwa, that's where that came from. And that came as a result of colonization. And when our ancestors were starting to be given names, our ancestor, his name was Nibinimakwa, but then that changed. So today we honor that spirit by using that in our travels, and we've always used that same name. We've been around like 29 years now, 27 years or something like that. But when we first started, it was to entertain and educate the community at large. The community where we live in, where there was no diversity. Today, we're still there, and I'm still sharing our culture. Today, we have just a handful of dancers. Because of social distancing, I couldn't bring everybody. So we're very fortunate that Daryl is going to back us up with these dances. And the first dancer I'm going to ask to come forward is going to be Brian Klein. Brian is one of our original members. He's aging now. He's 40 plus. He was 16 when he started dancing for us. Now, all these dances you see are all story dances. They're story dances, and each dancer has a story to tell. Brian is going to be telling you a story, and I think he's going to do a sneak up. So I want you to use your imaginations. I want you to use your imaginations because he's telling you a story by his actions. So this is Brian Klein with the men's traditional style of dance. Miigwech. Thank you, Daryl, for that beautiful song. You know, there is no magic age when a person starts dancing, and there is no particular age when a person stops dancing. I remember my late grandfather, he was 95, I think 99, when he would get up and he would put his regalia on. But one day I watched him, and then I sat beside him. I said, "You're not dancing?" "Oh, no," he said, "I just dress up so that people come and look at me." He was 99. So I'm still a dancer too, but you know what? When you're the boss, you have so many things to do, so I can't MC at the same time and dance. So I'm going to ask my good friend Flora Ruck to come forward. Now these outfits, this regalia that you see here, is all handmade. This is her debut with this new regalia. She just made that. I think it took her how many years? 2 years or 1 year? 3 years. Yeah, her husband Curly over there made it. And so this is the first time she's wearing this regalia. I always say this is an outfit that you can rent out to Walmart or the Bay to go and buy. These are all handmade. They're made and designed by our own people. Men and women design these and they make them. And we have to take good care of them because they have to last a long time. And I know several women would have more than one outfit, but it takes a long time to make these outfits, these regalias. So Flora is going to be dancing for you a straight traditional style of dance. Usually, historically, what would happen is women would dance on the periphery of a dance area, overlooking the area, at the same time watching the children, watching the people celebrate. Nowadays, more currently, we have women that just, they still stand on the spot. There's 2 styles of dancing, but today we're only featuring one style. And this is going to be the straight women's traditional dance. Thank you, Flora. That was very beautiful. Thank you, Daryl. We talk about these regalias. We talk about how we have to take care of them. We have to feast them and also smudge them periodically. The next dancer I'm going to ask to step forward is Rebecca. Rebecca is going to be dancing for you the healing dance. This actually came from northwestern Ontario, from Diogachitakwe. And we always like to make sure that people know where that dance comes from. It comes from Whitefish Bay. I was told by an elder a long time ago, when you see an adult dress, it will have 365 cones on a dress to represent each day of the year. And we have 2 variations of this dance, but I think she's going to do the straight. And so this is Rebecca. And just so you know, Rebecca and Brian had traveled to Sweden a number of years. I think they would go there to perform, 3 or 4 months at a time. I don't know how many years they did this. So they've been dancing together for a long, long time. So this is Rebecca with the jingle dress style of dance. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. You may have noticed, like some of the dancers carry eagle feathers, eagle fans. When the women raise their fans, there's two meanings behind that. One is to acknowledge the directions, and the other is to acknowledge the spirit of that bird that gave up its life so that they could carry that. These are very special to all of us. This is not something you run out to the bay to go and buy. Sometimes we trade for them, sometimes they're gifted to us. So we really value that because we don't go out to shoot an eagle. So there's various ways we get it. And it's always an honor when somebody gifts us something like this. Now the next performer is going to be Kelly Chinchilla. I've asked Kelly to come in. Her daughter usually dances for us as well. This is a fancy shawl dance. And she's also a jingle dress dancer. And I've asked her today to come to perform for you with the fancy shawl. Now the story we've heard before in the past by our people that taught us about dancing is this dance started with the Oklahoma women, young women in the United States. It is to represent a butterfly. So when you see her dancing, just think of a butterfly hopping from flower to flower. And this is what this song represents, and this is what Kelly's demonstrating for you, is that fancy shawl dance. No, one more. So, this is why young women dance this, because they're very light on their feet. Yes. And I'm very happy that, Kelly joined us today. She is a very busy woman. By profession, she is a teacher. And she also is a boxer. I don't know what else she does, but she's always... Now, the last dancer we're going to feature is Tyson. Tyson is 14 years old. He recently joined us. And what he's going to be demonstrating for you is the chicken dance. Now, I want you to use your imaginations. What he's demonstrating for you is he's imitating a prairie chicken, how a prairie chicken mating season, they do. So this is Tyson Tyson's from Selkirk, and he's a champion dancer. Here he is demonstrating for you the chicken dance. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tyson. Pardon me? Oh, okay. I don't Okay.
Turn the
Thank you
drum
very much, Tyson. That's very impressive. And he's danced already before, but he's going to be, he's not dressed? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Thank
All
you.
right, audio. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And just the people at home, for all you folks at home, we are listening to you. I know that they want the drum mic brought up a little bit at home. They can't really hear it. So I just want to remind you all to tag the WAG. We have cash giveaways. So if you folks are in regalia at home or you're participating at home watching the show, just go to our Facebook, the Winnipeg Art Gallery Facebook page, or on Instagram. Instagram, it's WAG, WAG_CA. So take a picture of you watching at home or dancing from home, and their folks here are watching the Facebook and Instagram pages to make sure that you're participating, and you might be able to win some cash prizes and some giveaways. So make sure that you are doing that from home. I know that right now on Facebook we have 118 viewers, so that's not too shabby, right? So folks, while you're here, go to check out the Winnipeg Art Gallery page here, and then if you guys all in this room, there's only a few of us, we are social distancing. I'm being conscious of that as well, but if we can get you to share the page from home, that would be awesome. And I just want to thank once again, while I have you, all of the sponsors that made today possible. We want to thank AMIC, amic.ca, and of course, Mr. and Mrs. Fontaine for all your hard work that you do in our community for Indigenous people and entrepreneurs and young people, and trying to get more Indigenous folks in business and in the workforce. So thank you for all the work that you do and for supporting this event today. I want to thank the Winnipeg Art Gallery and of course Julie Lafreniere, who is the manager of Indigenous Relations. We have some really cool things that we're not going to announce today, but in the future, some cool partnerships. And we're going to be doing some cool partnerships in the future that we'll tell you about. So make sure you follow the Winnipeg Art Gallery and Indigenous Music. I'm here on behalf of Manitoba Music, Indigenous Music. I am the Indigenous Music Development Coordinator. After this event wraps up today, I want to direct you to the Indigenous Music page. We have a Father's Day special called the Festival of Fathers. So 13 Indigenous musicians from here in Manitoba that are dads will be on that concert. So check that out after this show is done. And I'll run home and hopefully make it there in time for that one as well. All right, so we're going to move right along. I'm going to introduce you to these cute little folks. They're not so little anymore, but I've been following their work since they were very young, and they've been part of this. It's called Spence Tradition, and they have been doing this for 11 years now, I believe, altogether, right? Oh, it's well over a decade anyway, and I've been watching these young people since they were just little guys. And this guy's probably about 2 feet taller than I remember seeing him last. So he's 17 now, and he's the one that organized this little troupe, and they're backed by their grandpa, Mr. Ivan Spence. Thank you for being with us today there, sir. And these young folks want to keep their tradition, Métis tradition, alive, and to share the stories of their grandparents and to keep this tradition alive. So I believe that Ryan's going to tell you a little bit about what they're doing and their performances and the meanings behind their dances as well. We've got Clarissa. Clarissa, give everybody at home a wave. That's Clarissa. That's Ryan's little sister, and then their little cousin Taylor Spence. Yes, and of course Mr. Ivan Spence on guitar today, and teaching his grandchildren the way of the Métis Nation. So whenever you're ready there, my dear Ryan, go right ahead.
Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Spence. And I'm with Spence Tradition. On guitar we have my grandfather Ivan Spence, who was actually my first fiddle teacher. And then after that I started learning from other people. And then on dancing we have my sister Clarissa Spence. I think she's, how old are you, 15 now? Yeah, we're growing, we're getting old very fast. And then we have my cousin Taylor Spence, who's semi-new to the group, but she's just as equally talented, and we get along very, very great. What we have for you today is a nice little show of some traditional Métis tunes. We're going to try and keep it upbeat. We're going to try and keep it fast. And while the girls are changing their shoes into their jigging shoes, I'm going to play a quick little tune for you guys. Lost Child. All right, we're going to get the girls to come back on, and they're going to do what we call the house party jig. And just one of the reasons why we do this is when the Métis back in the day, they didn't have a big hall or a community hall to gather in like we have a space here today. So they would go into their houses, they would take out all the furniture, they'd bring it all outside so they could have a huge house party essentially. And that's what we're trying to almost recreate here. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. going to speed it back up again with, let's go Three Men on a White Horse. I'd like to invite the girls back up to come dance to Maple Sugar. I'd just like to say, as even though that you guys online can't all be here with us today, it's still nice that we're able to play for you, and that we're still able to get something set up. It just goes to show how resilient of a people we are all together. And I'm just super excited that we get to share our culture with you, everybody here today. It's such a blessing. crank up the drummer a bit more? Let's see. Buffalo Girls. Let the girls take a break because they've been dancing hard, and we don't want to tire them out too much. Only just a little bit. All right, I'm going to get Clarissa and Taylor to come back up, and we're going to do the heel-toe polka. It's always been one of the most recognizable dances, I would like to think. I'm also not a big dancer, but it was one of the ones that I could kind of do, but rather than subjecting you guys to that form of torture, I'll let the girls show their incredible moves instead. All right, we're gonna play the Red River Jig, which is also one of the most recognizable tunes. And just before we do that, just want to tell a quick story about this fiddle. It's actually my great-grandfather's fiddle, Emil Spence, and back in the day, they didn't have a lot of money, so they couldn't exactly just go and order a fiddle off Amazon, as you could do right now, direct shipping and all that. So they decided to hold like a little bingo get-together thing in the community, and they got a bunch of people to come, and they raised enough money because the whole community knew what an incredibly talented fiddle player he was. So they raised enough money, they ordered the fiddle, they got it, and then it came here. It was played lots, and over the years, though, it got kind of mistreated a little bit. There's cracks all over the fiddle. There was one day somebody stepped on it, completely stepped on it, and then another day somebody hung it like as a mantelpiece, but that's not good because the sun came in and like blew out the side. So, but all through the years, my grandfather, he knew how important this fiddle was, so he kept getting it repaired, and still to this day it still works. And I always thought that's just one of the greatest stories, just resilience, as I said before. And it's great sounding fiddle. I think it's like one of my favorites. It also has a nice cool color. But enough of my rambling. We'll get the girls to do the Red River Jig. You guys ready? Okay. So now we're going to leave it with Clarissa to do the finale. We're going to do the Orange Blossom Special. This is going to be our final song. We just like to thank you guys so much for inviting us. And thanks to everybody who's watching on the live stream. Such a pleasure to have you guys here with us, even if you're not here with us in physical form, I guess. But here, you ready? 3 changes? Whoa, she's going for the gust. Oh, my voice. She's going for the gusto. All right.
guys, Spence Tradition. Give it up for these lovely folks.
Well, thanks so much for having us. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Mr. Spence. Happy Father's Day, sir. And to you, young man, and your cousin and sister. So lovely. Thank you so much, guys, for that. That was really cool. And I love this young man's emceeing, so I might bug him again someday. And Barb said that he emceed for her before, too. Okay, and don't go anywhere because Barb would like a group photo once we're all wrapped up here, a group photo of everybody that participated in our event today. Now I'm going to call upon I just want to remind you folks at home while we get Nikki and her daughter getting set up here to get ready. And I want to tell you folks at home, don't forget to tag the WAG. Have people been jumping on online? Yeah, you've been getting some feedback. So I know that we have well over 100 viewers. There was one guy I wanted to say hello to. So one person here is watching all the way from Peru. Yeah, watching from Peru. So thank you, Carmen. Salinas Yanez, I believe that's how you say it. But thank you for watching all the way from Peru. That's pretty cool that we're international now, guys. You're international superstars being watched all over the globe. So thank you to the Winnipeg Art Gallery, of course, and all of the people that helped us fund this event today. We want to thank our folks at AMEC, our friends there, for supporting this event. We want to thank you. I know that you always support Indigenous business and our folks in the workplace and trying to get more Indigenous folks into the workforce. So thank you so much for all the work that you do. Thank you, of course, to Manitoba Music, Indigenous Music, where I work, and for the folks that helped me be a part of today, Factor Canada, the Government of Canada, Canada's radio broadcasters, the Province of Manitoba, and Manitoba Film and Music. Don't forget to tag the WAG, folks from home. WAG, that's WAG_CA on Instagram, and just search Winnipeg Art Gallery on Facebook and tag the WAG to win. You guys could win some cash prizes, so get on it. If you're watching, take some pictures from home. Let us see you watching or dancing as part of this event, and you can win some cool prizes. Okay. Without further ado, this is my good friend Nikki Komik-Sutsikskak. I never say it right. We've been friends for well over a decade, and I never can ever say her name properly. But this beautiful woman is a mother and a teacher of her culture to many of us, to thousands of people here in the province of Manitoba and all over the world. She shares the stories of the Inuit people and throat singing. She'll explain as she goes about the stories that she's going to tell. She's joined by her beautiful daughter, Chastity Swan, and they're going to tell you a little bit about the Inuit culture and what they are doing with the throat singing, and they'll tell the stories behind that. So take it away, Nikki and Chastity. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Shanine. First, I would like to thank the Winnipeg Art Gallery, Julie, and Shanine for inviting us and to have Inuit representation on this very awesome day to be Indigenous Peoples Day. My name is Nikki Komik-Sutsiksak, and I'm originally from Chesterfield Inlet, Nunavut, but Winnipeg is my home. And as you are aware, I have my daughter with me, and we'll be doing some throat singing for you guys. So I tell this story every single time I'm on stage because there are some of you viewers that may have never heard throat singing before, and when you hear these noises coming out of our throats, sometimes you can get taken aback. So telling this story gives you a sense of where throat singing comes from. So this is a story that I carry with me everywhere I go. It's a story that my grandmother told me when I was a little girl about the creation of throat singing. So a long time ago, Inuit lived in igloos, and there were different roles for different genders. The men's role was to go out in groups and go hunting for game such as caribou, walrus, seal, whale, all my favorite foods to eat. And the women's role was to stay back in the community and teach the children the way of life in the north, how to be safe around the seawater, how to sew, how to cook. One day when a group of men went out hunting, they never came back to the community to feed the women and the children. Several things could have happened to the men. They could have fell through the ice and drowned. They could have got lost and froze to death or mauled by animals like polar bears, and that's just the harsh reality of life in the north and still is today. Because of this, unfortunately, a lot of the children were starving, and mothers, being the carriers of babies and the lovers of the community, needed to find a way to feed their children. So two women went down to the ocean and they started mimicking different animal noises with their throats. And when they did this, they found that they attracted smaller animals, so that's how they caught their food to feed their children. A true story of survival. Today, throat singing is typically done with two women facing face to face, looking into each other's eyes, and basically the first person that laughs is a loser. Well, we're making noises. So I'm going to battle it on with my daughter here. And so the first one we're going to do, I call it the hubaba, like the bubble gum. This is just to practice. There's a lot of breathing, inhaling, and exhaling, so this is our way of practicing. That's really, really sore. We're using a lot of our inside of our, anyways, diaphragm, thank you. So it takes a lot of work. And inhaling and exhaling, if we don't do it properly, we can lose oxygen to our brain and pass out. And so we definitely don't want to do that. So as you can see, it's a real skill and an art to be able to throat sing. So I had mentioned that we're mimicking different noises from our environment. So the next one we're going to do is called the saw. So this mimics cutting a tree with a handheld saw. Woo! Thank you. So did that sound like a saw, cutting a tree with a saw? Pretty spectacular, some of the noises that we can make. I'm going to give my daughter a little break here, and I'm going to throat sing myself. So I started throat singing when I was really young, and it's so great to see so many young Indigenous children taking part in their culture and showcasing and not being afraid to showcase a part of their culture, because that's how we learn. That's how they, and it's just so beautiful to see. So I started throat singing when I was really, really young. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I was really young. I was about 9. And so I've been throat singing for a very long time. And because of throat singing and making different noises with my throat, I've learned how to incorporate a couple voices into just one throat song. So I hope you enjoy this. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's a little bit of what throat singing sounds like myself. I love showcasing my culture. I love teaching people about who I am and where I come from. Yeah, so thank you for listening. So the next one my daughter and I are going to do is a friendly competition. It's a friendly competition. She quit. I won. Thank you, Chastity. All right, so that's a little bit of throat singing. Typically, on days like today, when we are performing and showcasing, I like to teach people throat singing, and I like to, just so that they have an idea of the art form and how hard it can be. But I also understand that it's social distancing, such a crazy time in our lives where we have to be physically distant from each other. And so throat singing, there's a lot of spitting back and forth of your saliva. So we won't be doing that today. I'm going to show you a little other throat song. Well, that concludes our throat singing for today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw and what you heard. I want to thank again the Winnipeg Art Gallery for having us showcase our culture. And I just want to congratulate all of the young ones that have come out today to showcase a part of their heritage as well. Kuyanamit, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki and Chastity. Thank you so much, ladies. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for showcasing. So, folks, what do you think so far? The ones here in the room and the ones at home. Isn't that amazing? We've showcased our First Nation, Métis, and Inuit brothers and sisters. We make up the Indigenous people of Canada. And, within that, we have many different nations of people. We have Cree, Ojibwe, Ojibwe, Dene, and Dakota, just in Manitoba alone. And of course, the Métis Nation is a unique nation of its own. And there are well over 50 different nations across this country. So to our non-Indigenous folks watching from home, our our friends and allies from different backgrounds. We just want to remind you to start maybe learning a little bit about the culture of the Indigenous people in this country. And I think it's very important because that is going to help us build friendships, learn from one another, and start. It is Indigenous Peoples History Month as well. So maybe read some history and start learning about much of the true history that has happened in this country. There's a lot of things that have happened over the years, things like residential schools, the 60s scoop. We are living in a time when we have well over 1,000 missing or murdered Indigenous women here in our country alone. That's something that we need to be talking about as Indigenous people, but also as non-Indigenous people. That's something that is a reality, and we need to be working together to put a stop to those things. We have children in care. There is at least one newborn baby, taken every day and put into the child welfare system here in Manitoba. There are enough children, First Nations children, to fill up the MTS Center. That is the reality we are living in this city. So we need to be talking about those things. And these celebrations are a good thing to showcase the good things about our people, but we need to also be cognizant of the realities that we're living and to break down the barriers. We see a lot of the racism in our city alone. So we need to be making those friendships and learning about each other and doing it in a good way, in a respectful way, with things such as this to learn from one another. So I'm really thankful to the Winnipeg Art Gallery for reaching out and starting to make that partnership here in Winnipeg, and we're going to have some fun some events in the future that we'll be doing as well. Moving right along, we want to stick to our time. We've got Brian Klein. We've known each other for many, many years too. I've known this guy since I was probably 14 or 15, and that's I'm not going to say how long ago that was, but it's been quite some time. My good friend Daryl Buck is going to back him up, and Barb's going to tell you a little bit about the story of the hoop dance here.
Yes, Brian has been dancing for a long time. He started when he was just a kid. He was taught by his uncle. Now, all the hoop dancers that we have seen in our territory all have a different style. They all have a different way of presenting. What Brian is going to be telling you is about his family. Use your imaginations. And he also will demonstrate for you elements of the environment. But one of the cool ones I've always appreciated is when he does that whirlwind. Imagine which one that one is going to be when you start seeing him dance. So this is Brian Klein, and he's going to be demonstrating for you the hoop dance. And he has done this many, many places, many countries. And this is the traditional style of hoop dancing. Take it away, Brian.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the Summer Bear Dance Troupe, Mr. and Mrs. Barb and Clarence Nipanak for showcasing our First Nations dancers, our powwow dancers today. So beautifully colored. And I love your new outfit, Flora. I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, we're going to retreat our flags now, of course, in our way. We begin our day with our prayer, and we have to close our prayer just like any one of our ceremonies, whether it's a powwow or one of our spiritual ceremonies. We have a beginning and an end, and we must close it. So I'll pass it on to Clarence and Barb and our dancers to close us off today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in at home. Don't forget, you still have a few minutes here to tag the WAG. If you've been watching at home, take a picture. I want to thank all of the performers. We'll thank everybody as soon as we do our official business here of closing the flags, and then we're going to thank some more of our funders. So don't go anywhere. We have a couple more minutes here, and we'll just take our flag home. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, folks, that we had to retreat our flags. That's how we shut down the powwow. Thank you for tuning into the virtual powwow. Of course, thank you to the Winnipeg Art Gallery, Indigenous Music, amic.ca, as well as all of the funders, the Factor Canada, Government of Canada, Canada's radio broadcasters, the province of Manitoba, and Manitoba Film and Music. You still have a couple of minutes to tag the WAG if you were watching from home. Thank you to all of our performers, Mr. and Mrs. Nipanak and the Summer Bear Dance Troupe. We want to thank Nikki and her beautiful daughter Chastity. I'm so proud of the work that those young women do in our community and showcasing the Inuit people. Thank you to our Spence tradition, the Métis dancers and singers and performers for keeping the Métis tradition alive and showcasing that work today as well. And of course to all the folks at home for tuning in and watching. Thank you to Jules and all the folks here at the Winnipeg Art Gallery for putting this event on and partnering with us. I think it was a really great opportunity to showcase this to our elders, to our allies at home, and I hope you all have a great day. And I think we're done now. So have a great day, everybody. I'm Shanine Robinson DeJarlis. Don't forget to tune in to Indigenous Music right away, 3 p.m. Go to the Indigenous Music site on Facebook. Just type in Indigenous Music. You'll see it there, Festival of Fathers. We have 13 Indigenous dads from Manitoba that are part of the Manitoba Music, members of Manitoba Music, participants in our program. They have an online concert at 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. Go check it out, guys. Have a great day.